Hey guys, Nancy Leah here. I just want to sit and kind of chat with you today about yesterday and the events of yesterday, what went down yesterday. So what went down yesterday, Nan? Well, it wasn't a deer. I thought it was a deer. And I mean, technically she went down. She just didn't stay down. So what happened? Hit the woods yesterday morning, played the wind, found a tree I liked where the acorns were, climbed up in it, shut my headlamp off, put it in my pocket, got into my Instagram stories like I do with any other hunt, posted my obligatory selfie that I had already taken, posted a video clip of the tree that I was climbing up or had already climbed up, and so forth. Literally as soon as I got up there, waiting for it to be first light, I could hear the jingle of doe all around me, of deer in general. I just assume they're all doe, of doe all around me munching on acorns. And then I seen a little bit of movement to my left, and 13 yards out was a doe paying me absolutely no mind whatsoever. And she was quartering away from me, if this helps at all. And so my thoughts had been to shoot my arrow just a hair back from the crease so that I could drive that arrow up through. At least that was what I was wanting to do. And according to me, that is exactly what happened. I let the shot fly. She ran for about 10 yards. She crashed, she thrashed, and then I heard labored breathing. And so I'm on my phone, texting my husband, texting my mentor. I was like, guys, I got one. She's down, she is dead, you know. So I hung out in my tree for another hour or so, and I quietly got down. Hey guys, I just got my first trad deer right at first light this morning. Had a nice big doe come up, and she was quartering away from me. She was eating acorns, and she had her head down. There was a little tree right in front of her head, so I knew she wasn't paying attention to me. And I was like, it's now or never. She was quartering away, just heart and lugs exposed, and I was like, I could probably get an arrow in there. And the thing was, I had a lot of time, I think, to get myself positioned just right, and I second-guessed myself a lot because there's a branch up there that was laying just a hair away from my riser when I drew, but sorry, my words aren't working well. I let the arrow go, and she took off and ran for maybe 10 yards, hit the ground. I heard her thrashing for just a minute, and then I heard her breathing hard and wheezing for a couple minutes after that. And I haven't heard anything from her in about 45 minutes. And I'm going to go look for the arrow. I'm going to go look for the deer. I know where she's at. So I walked over to where I had seen her go down, and sure enough, there was a pile of blood there. There was a heavy blood trail that went for about 20 yards, and it kind of spun into a little bit of a circle, and then it stopped. And no sign of her body anywhere, even though I had thought that she was already on the ground, dead. I was just going to go spot her body, run home, grab my side-by-side, grab the husband, go recover the animal. But she was not there. So I ceased my search. I quietly walked out of the woods, came home. I know better than to push on a deer that is losing a lot of blood and potentially bedded down, injured. So I came home, and we waited about another hour or so. And again, I kept saying that this deer was dead, that I saw her go down. Then I did see her go down, but it turned out eventually that it was actually just a little log sitting behind the bush that I thought was the doe this entire time. But anyway, so, sorry, someone's beeping in. Ignore. So anyway, so I came home, got my husband, we went on back out a little bit later, and I showed him where exactly I shot the deer from the tree. I had actually, when I was still in my tree, I made a video clip of the tree, and I pointed to it with my finger to point out which tree she was behind and where she traveled to, so that whenever I went back onto the ground, I would have an easier time finding that tree and finding her. I don't know about you, but things look different to me, elevated versus on the ground. I knew exactly what tree I shot her from, But once I got on the ground, they kind of looked the same. I was second guessing, is it this tree, is it that tree? So anyway, so I did that, showed my husband where we could not find the arrow. We looked all around that tree and all of the other trees around it. So we went back to the blood trail. Mind you, like I said, this was only like 25 yards away from where I shot her, where all the blood was. So basically when the arrow impacted her, all that blood was immediate, which I thought was a great sign. Should have been a great sign. But so we started to find a little bit of a trickle, and we followed that for a little ways, and then we seen a deer jump up and run. So my husband and I squatted down for about 2 hours, and we waited it out, and then we tiptoed on up there to see what we could find, a bed hopefully, and we did. We found a bed, and in that bed was blood and my arrow. I'll show you my arrow. First thing that caught my eye was that not all of my white fletchings were covered in red, which tells me, in my short years of hunting experience, that this arrow did not go the entire way through the animal. I'll let you look at this a little bit. But anyhow, it was good blood. You can see here on the footing where it started to clot a little bit. So what I am thinking, and what the general consensus between my husband and I, my mentor, our mutual friends, is that I did not overcompensate enough. I did not aim far back enough. I believe, I hope you can see this well, I shot into here and it came out, I'm sorry, it did not come out. It wedged into her brisket. And at some point when she was laying down, she must have either pulled it out herself or just kind of like wiggled it loose and free and whatnot. So I just wanted to come on here and give a little bit of an explanation as to what happened yesterday. I'm going to try to throw this video in with yesterday's footage so you can get a better idea of the blood trails, the arrow, everything. But I am really sorry. I am really disappointed. And I know that a lot of you who watch my stories on a daily basis and have been watching my stories for, 3 seasons now? This is our 4th season. And I document every single hunt. And you're always the first to know. Like, I really, really appreciate my story viewers. I also, of course, appreciate YouTube viewers, Facebook, Instagram, but it's a little bit different in my stories. It's more one-on-one and personal, and I'm there every single day, no matter what, especially when it comes to hunting. And you all know I'll give you the honest nitty-gritty of what went down or what did not go down. So that is what happened. But I'm going to keep my big girl panties on and just keep on going. Thanks for letting me share.